Welcome to Hops and Monsters, a weekly discussion of all things nerd with lots of beers and lots of friends. I'm Charlie.
I'm Ben.
We've got a bunch of guests in the studio today. Let's go first with Lance. Hi, Lance.
Hey, Lance Ozanix here.
Lance, the frontman of Skitzo, longtime thrash metal outfit. Are we calling it thrash metal? What do you call it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Legendary, as far as I'm concerned.
We've been wanting to have him as a guest since we started this thing, and it finally happened.
Finally happened.
Yeah.
13 episodes in.
Thanks for being here.
We're happy to be here.
Awesome. And Ed the Shred's here.
Hey, what's going on?
The shred.
Ed, you're in Barren Altar.
Yes, I am.
And that's Ben, you and Ant, both. Ant, engineer Ant's here, by the way.
Howdy.
Hey. You guys are all in Barren Altar. Are we calling that doom metal? Black metal?
Black and Doom.
Black and Doom?
Cascadian.
I like it.
Kind of a mix.
U.S. black metal.
So we got some old school
Angry
thrash.
shit.
We got some new school doom.
Aren't we playing a show together soon, guys?
We are.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Let's
right.
talk about it.
March 3rd. It's on Friday, March 3rd, 2017, at the Vets Building in
That's right.
Santa Rosa.
Oh, cool.
The last time
That's Santa Rosa, California.
I was there watching a band, it was Saxon and Accept.
That's sick.
1984.
Balls to the wall
84.
tour.
Fucking shit.
It
That
was,
had- yes,
yeah.
my God.
And I had to mow 2 lawns to get $6 to get to that show.
That's
Hey,
dedication.
did
God
Motley
damn.
Crue play Shout at the Devil tour out there?
No, it's Too Fast for Love
They played Too Fast for
in
Love there?
81.
Damn.
I didn't go though. It was on
Motley
it was
Crue
on
played the Vets
Halloween.
building?
Yes.
That's sick.
Fucking shit. Did you see Metallica when they came to Guerneville at the River Theater by
Yes.
chance?
Yeah, that's
Fucking
when I
shit.
met. That's when I hung out with Cliff Burton.
That was my hometown, and I've heard the stories about that.
Yeah. They
Crazy, man.
they came out there all the time for like when Testament played out there, Exodus, all the big guys. They even a bunch of punk bands when.
DRI.
Yeah, well, actually, when it was European punk bands like Discharge, they were there. Cro-Mags, they were hanging out there.
What brought them all out to Guerneville, this little place out in
It was a place
kinda
to tour.
nowhere?
It was a great place, and not a lot of bands could be booking thrash acts in the '80s because it was still a real brand new music and had club owners freaking out and stuff. I was even on TV back then. Telling our crowd to on those public service announcements.
Sure.
I would do those late night public service announcements on channel 7, 5, 4, and 2 and channel 20. I'd put my Skitzo shirt on and it was free publicity, so
yeah.
it was great. And I would tell everyone about nightclub violence and vandalism. Just it's what was the words? Aggressive fun, not aggressive harm.
Oh, cool.
And that's how we got our name out in our hometown in the early days.
Nice. Hey, you guys are always about the aggressive fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Still are.
Yeah. Still.
And puking, don't forget
Yeah.
that.
Aggressive.
Oh, the puking. Yeah.
Yes.
Do we want to get into the puking?
Yo, he's here.
Ryan.
All right, Ryan's here.
Hey.
Welcome, Ryan. Also with Barren Altar.
We're going to be doing a show here pretty soon
we
together.
are.
Yeah, we're talking about the show. So it's on the 3rd in
3rd
Santa
of March.
Rosa.
Yeah, March 3rd, Friday at the what was it?
Vets building.
Santa Rosa Vets
Santa Rosa.
Building. Yep.
California.
A lot of different metal bands playing there. It sounds like you guys are headlining. Skitzo's
Yeah.
headlining.
The,
Barren Altar will
the
be
leaders are playing. Barren Altar, Hellbender,
Sepulchra.
there. Cool.
Tressalence.
King Must Die.
Yeah.
Is that like an all-day thing?
Yeah. Well, wait, 6 to midnight or something
Okay,
like that.
cool.
There's 2 stages.
I don't think I've ever seen music there.
Like I said, the last time I was there was
Yeah.
Saxon and Accept in '84.
Yeah. Nice.
I was probably throwing Cheerios around my living room.
I would have picked
Yeah.
you up and gone. I would have
think I
sat you on
would've
my
walked around.
shoulders.
Man,
Yeah.
I would have my Oshkosh bagosh,
Schizo's actually about 3 years older than I am, so the band is older than
Wait,
me.
when it started?
81.
81. All right, I was
yeah.
1. But
You were 1 year old.
I went to your shows when I was 14, probably.
Yeah. Well, now you went to the crazier shows. Is that
yeah.
true? Is
I
that
saw
the one
you
with?
puke into the leaf blower at the Phoenix
Oh.
in '95, I think.
Should we get
That
some
was fucking
context for that?
oh my God.
Lance is a bit
That
of
was the most memorable
performance
show,
artist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say performance artist as well as frontman. The vomiting thing. That's when I would, as a kid, go into the Last Record store and I'd see the pictures of Skitzo and hear about that. It was always the big green slime
Wow.
and all that stuff.
Has
Did
it
it scare the
kicked
hell
in
out
your
of you?
PTSD or something?
No, but it was definitely one of those where I was like, I don't know if I want to like that or be scared of it. I don't,
Oh, you could do both.
I was a little bit of both. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's what it was in the 80s. In the 80s, it was really weird because, people would come to our show, be offended, and leave. But they told their friends about it. So it was kind of like an internet thing, like, oh, the grossest thing we ever saw.
Right.
And then those friends dared them to come to our shows. And then in the 90s, people wanted to be puked on.
And then Jerry
Oh,
Springer
yeah.
found out about it.
And Springer
yeah,
found out, then it got even just crazy.
I do remember at your shows you had Faces of Death videos playing on old TVs. You guys hauled in probably 4 or 5 old TV
Yeah.
sets.
Yeah.
And you had a VCR. You'd play Faces of Death and Granny
Yeah,
porn.
that's right.
So it would
Granny
basically
porn.
people like dying in like horrific ways. I saw someone getting hit by a train.
Yep, and he's
then,
bashed
And
apart.
then this old lady just gum jobbing this guy. It was fucking disgusting, man. I couldn't believe. I was like, why are you just? I mean, it was fucking.
It was
of
a
course I'm
21 and
never
over
gonna-
show, wasn't it?
No, I think I was 15 or 16 at the
But
time.
you snuck in, man.
No, it was. Those were the days, man.
And so that's when you
that's
decided that
crazy.
playing in a rock and roll band was what you wanted
Oh
to do,
fuck
right?
yeah, man!
Yeah, you get
That's
free
legendary.
gummers.
yeah, gore and
Yeah.
gum jobs.
That's some fucking gingivitis, man.
I think that's the episode title. It's write that down.
I like it.
Did you say gory gummers? That's a great name for a band.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Gory gummers.
So was
I
that
can
a
see it.
phase? I mean, it kind of sounds like you kind of did it all, Lance. Like you had now you're a 5-piece. You said that was new.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually a 3-piece, but we were talking about Tom Gaffney earlier, and he was talking about his favorite performance he ever saw of yours was when you were by yourself
And
you
the
just and the
mannequins.
mannequins came
Yeah.
on.
Well, so that was kind of a harsh one because
Right.
it was now Ed the Shred. Did you see us with the mannequins around that
yeah,
time?
you had a mannequin of your guitarist Ken, I believe. At the
Yeah.
Phoenix one. Yeah.
Because Ken passed away in '95 of a motorcycle wreck, and I didn't know
Hmm.
how to deal with that. You know, it was weird and grieving, and I didn't want to see someone else on the other side of the stage playing his music. And when he passed away, his parents left me his amp head, and that was the Skitzo sound at the time. So I'm like, ooh, what am I gonna do with this? So I got a mannequin. Got some clothes for him, a black leather jacket. And,
He had his guitar on the mannequin too.
yep, a guitar on the mannequin. I had a wig, and then I got a strobe light and a fan. So, and then our drummer was a mannequin as well. We named her Bertha Leach. She was up there as well with long hair and a fan and a strobe light. And I kid you not, you plug it in and I learned from rap shows at the time. I went to a couple of rap concerts that they just DI boxed their track show, and that's what we did, or I did. In the beginning, I went in the studio at Grizzly Studios and took off my vocals, took off my bass, but I had the guitar and the drums in the house mix on every song. So you were actually getting a live bass tone and bass playing and live vocals over the 2 tracks.
Was that on cassette or
No,
CD?
it was on CD.
I remember seeing you guys, and the drums and the guitar were being put through the
Piped
PA.
in.
I remember
That's really interesting.
back in the early days, Trent Reznor had to run his whole sound on cassette. He didn't
Yeah.
even have CDs back in 1998.
Yeah, I read about that too, and that's what influenced
That's how far
me.
he's come,
The Flaming Lips did some crazy stuff too. If you've ever heard of them,
Oh, yeah.
they do like 100 tracks, and they let the crowd record something. I don't know. That's some crazy stuff.
They're visionary for sure.
Yeah,
You must have been limited though, as far as the set list. You've only got however many recordings that you had. Were you just playing the same kind of set list every time?
yeah. That was the only bad drawback was there was no room for improving.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But I still improved at the end of the night. Like I took my mannequins to Denny's and bought them breakfast, and and
That's awesome.
I played the whole thing up. And it got a little it got a little monotonous when I had to do gigs in LA with it, or
Driving the mannequins down.
Yeah.
Were they
having
sitting
them-
in the passenger seat?
Yes.
Making sure you have
Yeah,
on
yeah.
seatbelts for them.
the
Yeah, get in
carpool
the
lane.
carpool lane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the
You
only
started
good
that
thing.
shit. You're
Exactly.
probably the first person to do that.
Those guys never chipped in for gas. Though. I
Well,
hate
they
that.
played. They played though.
Yeah,
So
they
for
earned their
free,
keep.
so-
They earned their keep.
right. So I had to
awesome.
buy them
You
pancakes.
got lots of leftovers. Yeah.
Definitely.
Keep their drink tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, these guys get drink tickets. Yeah.
I did. I got their drink tickets and gave them to the groupies and
Right.
all that good stuff back in the day.
Nice. Oh yeah, we haven't even brought up what we're drinking.
Oh, yes.
Let's just go around. I'm drinking a Baby Daddy
In a
Session
can.
IPA. It's in a can. Yeah, it's from Speakeasy out of San Francisco. Ben, you've got
I've got Devil Dancer Triple IPA.
Delicious.
Founders.
love it.
I've got a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
was
That's
it was selected as America's best
That's
in
artisan.
1893. Yeah,
That's truth.
it's established in Milwaukee, 1844.
Now, is that the beer that made Milwaukee famous, or is that a different one?
I don't know.
I think that's a different one, maybe.
I
Maybe
know
Schlitz.
it's great. You drink like more than two of these, and
hey, at least with a
piss
PBR, you know what
Yeah.
you're getting.
instantly. Yeah.
It's
Very
guaranteed quality.
refreshing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Ryan, you got one too.
I
it looks
also
like.
have a Pabst that was sitting here when I walked in.
Yeah, I got.
Yep.
I
Didn't,
brought one for
pretty
you.
great. Cheers.
When we played in
Cheers,
San
man,
Jose
yeah.
a couple weeks ago, we were drinking tall cans all night long.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah,
were,
$7 tall cans.
$7 for a tall can of PBR.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
my-
What was up with
Thanks,
that
San
gig?
Jose.
We didn't get any drink tickets.
No drink tickets.
No drink.
They
ticket.
comped us a hotel room and they gave
That
us
was
$50,
cool,
but
though, yeah.
no drink tickets.
I
Not
had
even
to-
water.
I had to buy my own stage water. It's great.
It was
Terrible.
San Jose, man.
Yeah.
$7 stage water.
Yeah, right.
All right. What's the trivia of this one? Pabst Blue Ribbon, baby fuck.
Fucking blue velvet.
All right, good.
Fuck that.
Fuck
Yeah.
that
Hey,
shit.
Pabst
Ed
Blue
was
Ribbon.
wearing that shirt the other
Heineken.
night.
Yes, dude. I
He
should have
had
wore
that shirt
man.
with.
Yeah, right.
It says, "Don't you fucking look at me."
Yeah, man. Dennis Hopper, man.
Daddy
Rest in
does
peace.
want to fuck.
Let's all toast to Dennis Hopper.
Dennis
Oh,
Dennis
for
Hopper.
Dennis.
Shit,
I love that. Thank
Is he
you.
still alive?
No,
No,
he
he
isn't.
passed
Died,
away.
He's drinking Pabst
3-4
with the
years ago?
Angels now.
Shit.
Yep. Fucking shit.
Damn.
One of the great ones for sure.
Blue Velvet also, I love the just Kyle MacLachlan loving Heineken. For some reason, that to me is just hilarious. He's just like,
Yeah, like he's never had
and
it
then
before.
she has, or someone else's has a
And it ends up being his
Budweiser.
undoing because
Yeah.
he has to pee in her house. And that's what keeps him. That's how he gets stuck in the closet.
Heineken.
Oh, man.
Getting all R. Kelly up in here.
All right, well, we're also going to talk about some horror movies, monsters. Lance, I feel like Skitzo is very influenced by horror movies.
Oh, big time.
Tell me about your growing up. You grew up kind of in a rural town, small town.
Yeah. Healdsburg, California.
How'd you find out about these all these scary movies that you went to?
Through a famous monster magazine.
Oh yeah,
I used to buy those as a kid. Used to. I still do.
yeah.
I buy Rue Morgue. That's a great magazine.
Yeah, that was
good.
later when I was in my 20s, but it was
Famous Monsters is a classic. That one's been around since what, the
58,
50s?
1958.
Yeah.
And I got it when I was like 5. So I got it in the early 70s. And I've been collecting them ever since. I've got the whole collection, and I think that'll be my retirement, I guess. If
Oh yeah.
If they
If
stay
you've got
in-
some of those older ones, those are definitely
I have every single
in
issue.
demand. Every single issue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
I don't think the guy that owns Famous Monsters has every single.
I
issue.
talked to him at the I know. I talked to him at the convention recently, and he was kind of like, "Wow, I don't even have any of those."
Right.
So,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Well, what's your favorites? I mean, what's the kind of the one movie that you go back to every time? Or
Well, Exorcist is definitely up there because
Yes.
the green spew and
oh yeah,
and that's how Skitzo was kind of put together with rock and metal, especially in the mid '70s. We were in talks of a band that Kiss did the Red Blood, but if I rolled my eyes back and I pretended I was like possessed, that's how Skitzo kind of came about. Puking. It was about 10, 11, 12, something like that. And I was with my drummer at the time, Dave, and we were downtown. I drank some root beer, and it became foamy. And we just got through seeing The Exorcist and on Showtime or something like that. And so I go, dude, there's some old people coming up the walkway. Watch this. And walk around the corner. I'm all, and I'm flailing on the ground. And he's all, oh my God, the power of Christ compels you. And the old people got freaked out. And I'm like, see, we could do this as a band, man. So,
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power of Christ compels you. That's probably got.
That's one of your songs, right?
Iconic.
that's right, Ben. Yeah, you remember that.
I remember when you used to play that when we were doing shows with Butter Me Down with you.
Oh, I love Butter Me Down. Yeah.
I still can't believe you listened to that just the other day.
Just the other day, I listened to his CD. Do you guys remember them?
I saw them around the same time that I first saw Skitzo.
Yeah.
Probably 95, 96 maybe.
What was that song? Scab in my neck, or I have the scab in my.
I don't know, dude. He
the
made he
pus?
freestyled all that stuff.
It was amazing.
Even on the
stuff.
recording that was just done live.
What is happening? Where's that band now? The singer and
I hung out with them a few months ago, and they're down to jam again.
like a reunion show?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, my
Tom would totally
God.
let him do it too.
Come on.
They were best friends with Tom back in the day. And
All right, you
those
heard
guys-
it here 1st
Let's do
Yeah,
it, man.
you guys
There
could
it
probably
goes.
like
Yeah,
headline the Nostalgia Fest or something.
Please, I'd love that.
Right? That'd be perfect.
Can you make sure that Nuclear Rabbit
Oh, yeah,
gets
make
back
that
we used to play
together?
with them all the time
Yeah.
too.
Can,
Make that
can we
happen.
force them to get back together and play that show too?
Yeah.
'Cause
Come on.
that would
We
be
play
I
fun.
with
don't
their
know
other
them
bands.
personally, but
Yeah.
I do.
Free of
I'll
shame.
talk to him.
all right.
That'd be
I'll
so
do it.
great.
I love it.
That would be awesome.
I can't believe you guys actually saw that shit too.
I would
fuck
love
yeah,
to see
man.
Nuclear
Yeah,
Rabbit again.
Butter Me
That stuff
Down
was
is great.
ridiculous.
I only saw you guys one time, I think.
That
Yeah,
was all
me
you
too.
needed to.
Yeah, no, it was,
No show was ever the same
it's
though.
still in my mind. You know, I remember that.
Butter Me Down sounds like a funk rap.
It
kind
was.
Of a-
Yeah,
No,
that-
we
Okay,
were
am I right in
funky
thinking
as
that?
hell,
Okay.
dude.
Okay. Because I know you is definitely.
No, the Chili Peppers influence was very evident. Of
Oh,
it.
okay.
You know what? I like you guys
confrontational
better than the
singer.
Chili
Yeah,
Peppers.
very
I like you guys better than Machine, whatever they were called, Rage Against the Machine. You guys are way
Nice.
better.
What?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And you didn't have that bullshit like political agenda, you know.
No, you just talked
Yeah,
about
no.
pus and
Politics
talked about
is
zits and
So,
pussy.
No one
Butter
wants
himself, the guy who was Butter Me Down,
Yeah.
that was the only band he's ever been in, and the only band he's ever been in since.
No shit.
Well, yeah, his
Yeah,
name's
that's-
Butter. It's not like he can do a bunch of other.
Tell us the concept of that album cover, because I look at it and I'm all, what the hell? It's this chick laying on a couch
That was
with
the
her
guitar
ass
player's wife
with
at the
her
time.
ass up.
He was playing butt bongos on her butt. She has a microphone pointed at her butt
That's
because he
right.
was recording it,
Was
Yeah.
she
And
and
like
we were going to use it
farting,
on a
or-
track. No, just playing her, butt
This
bongos.
is why we have rated
that.
MA on everything now, Ben. This is
Wow.
what happened.
Dude, where can I get a copy of this?
I
Yeah,
have a couple
really.
copies.
Gore.
Dude,
It's
I'll
amazing.
give them to you.
I want to see this.
I still
shit.
have my copy from high school.
Are you
in a
fucking
box
kidding
in my
me? You guys
closet. Yeah.
still have that stupid CD we did.
Well, I mean, it's in a box in my closet, but yeah, I still possess it.
Holy shit, man.
Crap that out, man. It's
Jesus.
great.
How
still
far
have-
I have
still
come
have
from
like
then.
the first 5 Skitzo records.
Oh my
Well, CDs, I
God.
should say, because in the '90s they only had CDs, really,
Yeah.
or cassette tapes.
Cassettes. were
Do you
in
have
the
anything on
90s.
vinyl, Lance?
Yeah, we got some stuff.
All right, because I need to own it all.
I think Psychobabble is, in my opinion, the pinnacle of that era of Skitzo.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a dark album, man.
I remember me and my friend Dan were driving through Healdsburg at a stoplight. You pulled up, jumped out of your van, and threw the fucking CD through my window. you just said, here! And you fucking threw
No
it.
way.
For the listeners,
And me
Lance
and
is
my-
like rubbing
we're
his
like,
chin
that's
like
Guerrilla
me.
marketing, right?
Did I do
And
that?
you just
Did I?
peeled out. You just threw it. You threw the CD at us. And then me and my friend Dan had to argue over like who kept it. And I was like, "Fuck you!" He threw it at me. Because I was driving. And then he eventually got a copy of it. But
That
it
is
was
great.
The CD was like a brain.
Yeah, the pink
and
brain.
it had the
die
insert
cut.
was like cut out. Yeah, I still have that.
That's some guerrilla marketing right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Growing.
Well,
and
that's,
then
your
on
album
the
with
back
people.
it says your phone number. Is it still 433 nuts? Because
it was, but I don't live in
remember that, too.
Hillsburg anymore. I wish.
Oh,
I
man.
want that number back.
That's a good
man.
number.
433 nuts.
Oh my God.
Very
Yeah,
appropriate.
it's a keeper. Yeah, for sure.
Now, because that number's been out in fanzines, magazines, television, everywhere. And in my box of shit somewhere, I have old recordings of crazy people from all over the world talking
Leaving
random
messages
messages.
to you from that number?
Yes,
Wow.
yeah. And I got to put it on CD. sometime.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be
there's
awesome.
got to be
Yeah.
a Skitzo
Fuck yeah,
release
man.
that's just the messages
Yeah.
from every crazy motherfucker that's called you.
And I'll name the album 433 Nuts.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to know what that is.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that
That's
sounds
awesome.
good. Yeah, that
All
could just be
right.
its own project, its own side project. Definitely.
That is amazing.
Well, I'm definitely interested more. Maybe talk about horror movie and heavy metal connection. Like, do you like heavy metal because you're into horror movies, or do you like horror movies because you're into heavy metal? Like, what the chicken and the egg kind of a thought.
that's
They go very well together. There's even a book out on Amazon you can buy. I gotta
Yeah,
look it
you
up.
got that right.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking
Heavy
at my
metal
purchase
movies, I
history.
think, right?
I think it is.
It's
That's
just-
called Heavy Metal.
It's just like all the
Movies.
kind of crazy out there.
It's got 666 movies that go very perfectly with heavy metal, and they're missing a few.
I read about that. It was on Bazillion Points. The same people that did the Murder in the Front Row.
Yeah, there it is.
Dude,
That's
is
right.
That movie The Gate talked about in that book?
It's got to be.
It's got
Because
to be.
there's a
Have
guy,
to.
you know that scene where there's the kid like
should've
jumping
brought it.
around. He has a denim vest with patches. Looks just like fucking Ryan right here. I saw that movie
That's
and I was like,
amazing.
That'd
dude,
be
that's
me at, like,
Ryan.
12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like if Ryan at 12 years old, like that. I saw that movie and I was
Gene Vest in Love with Satan.
flipped me
Yeah.
out.
Well, it was in '87. How old were you, Ryan, in '87?
87, like 4.
But I saw
Definitely
that-
wasn't played by me.
All right.
I saw that movie after they showed Holy Moly in the theater about probably a year and a half ago.
Yeah, you were there at
yeah,
that.
I was there at the when
At
you
the
showed Holy
Roxy
Moly
Cult
at the
one?
Roxy. Yeah.
Wow.
And they played
yeah.
The Gate after they showed Holy Moly.
That's right.
And that's when I saw Ryan at 12 years old in the fucking movie.
Your doppelganger. Yeah.
I
That's
swear,
so
yeah,
cool.
If you know Ryan and you saw that movie, you would just lose your shit. Because I still, to this day, I can't believe it.
Ryan
There
kind
it
of
is.
reminds me of the dude who made Coven, Mark Borchardt.
Oh, how dare you.
Long hair and glasses, maybe. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know,
Yeah, we
it's-
have to actually. I mean, we didn't even bring this up yet. Lance, you're a filmmaker as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Well, a film, right? Holy moly! It's on
Yeah.
DVD now through Verboten Video.
That's right, down in LA. So
Verbotenvideo.com. I really want to watch this. I haven't watched it yet, but
it's jam packed.
what was the experience? I mean,
making Holy Moly?
yeah, I mean, so I assume like 80s, you're with friends, you're like, oh, I got this great idea.
You're right. You're right.
You got
Now-
a camcorder. It's all on video, like shot on
camcorder.
video or something.
No, it's
right?
on VHS. Those big things with over your shoulder VHS sliding.
Oh wow! You just put the tape right in the camera.
Right,
Yeah.
right in. It goes back to where I think during the Sculling days, my friend Chris Schott, who did the cover art. You guys remember the Viking cover art?
Yeah, I've got-
Well, he's a really good friend, and he also did makeup art. You know, like prosthetics,
Sure.
all that stuff. And I thought, and we were palling around, and I go, dude, there's not too many people out there that do that kind of makeup with latex. I go, let's make a movie. So, back in I think 1990, we went to a movie, and I think it was Night of the Living Dead, the remake. Then we went to a Lions Cafe, which was down there by Cottingtown. And
Oh, yeah.
we wrote the whole script of Holy Moly that night, and we started filming the next day. Then his parents said that they're going to be moving soon, and he's going to go with them to North Dakota, somewhere in the Midwest.
God.
And there was no Facebook, there was no email. So I'm
Right.
like, when your friends move away at that time, it's like,
That's it. You're done.
yeah, you write,
Or yeah, right.
Or
if you,
call,
if you can
but-
remember their address.
right? And we talk so much about film, heavy metal, movies, music, and it, I don't know if you know this, but calling somebody long distance, that racks up so much money, so it's the tolls are insane for keeping in touch
I remember that. I'm old enough to remember that.
Yeah,
When
you do?
long distance was
Oh,
a
yeah.
thing that you had to worry about, you actually had to budget for.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, he was moving away. I'm like, we got to make this movie. So it was done very quickly. Like, it was done on our lunch breaks from work. It was done on weekends. It was done after work, and we just pounded this thing out until it was finished. And I think up until the very, if you see this and it's dark, right?
Right.
In this one scene where he bites my Achilles tendon right there in the ankle, that was the very last thing we shot because his family's was packed up with their U-Haul, ready to go. He had blood on his mouth. And that was the end of it. And that was the last time I seen him until, like, you know, a few years later he came back to visit. But that was the last scene that he jumped in the car and on their way to Middle America.
Wow.
So when you see that, you'll be like, oh, that's that night.
And yeah, so it was kind of a cult thing, and maybe people around here knew about it, but
Well-
how did this guy in LA find it? That's what I always,
The guy...
the Verboten video
Well,
guy.
I made a bunch of copies and marketed it to Blackest Heart Media, and he really his name is Sean, but he now does Rotten Cotton. So if you go to rottencotton.com,
I know that company, yeah.
Yeah, so
They
make
advertise on Rue Morgue.
Room Org, T-shirts, everything. But he did videos, and he sold videos, and he, oh my God, he bought hundreds from me, like wholesale. Maybe 500 videos from me, and that was big. So in his catalog, he'd sell them all over the world, and I do see him on eBay from time to time.
Right.
And you,
Yeah, I was
going
gonna say I bought
please.
a copy on VHS, probably 1996. When I was 16 in '96. I was born in 1980,
Yeah.
and I first got my driver's license. So I was driving around fucking everywhere, and I went to the Video Droid in Rankin Valley, and I bought Holy Moly on VHS.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I think
so
it was like 12 or 15.
I thought maybe you were going to
bucks.
say Lance threw a copy. I was driving around.
Bouncing
Lance
on your
pulls up.
No, there's no.
Damn
There's,
distinct.
it's not a
Like,
cool
this
story.
dude keeps throwing shit at me. I don't know.
It was much more a conventional method of acquiring the.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and if you have one of those original copies, those things go for a couple $100 now.
Well, fuck.
There you go.
Hey, I need
Honestly.
I'm looking for some side
He's actually
cash here.
putting
No,
what
I'm
you've been listening together now.
And
gonna go
that's
find it in my closet right
and
now.
that's what that's what got this guy going from L.A. Verboten Video to have a super release, which is on this new DVD. It has the commentary, the original.
yeah, he got you guys like
Release.
in the studio to kind of do a commentary. And,
Yeah, the whole thing.
That's awesome.
And so we're just putting it all together for that perspective. So
Very cool.
You guys didn't change it up like new Star Wars, like add a bunch of CGI shit, right?
well, we the Jabba the Hutt scene. Let me tell you.
It was a bitch getting Jabba to vomit. God damn it.
It's as intended now.
That's right. There was a funny story about the video. What was that? What's that last video store here in town?
Video Droid?
Thank you. Now, I brought my video into him back. This must have been 98. And I said, "Hey, this is $20. Would you like to buy it and you can rent it out and I'm going to promote it." And he's looking at the Holy Moly, goes, "Man, this looks like shit." He goes, "Nobody's going to, no one's going to rent this thing." And I go, "Okay, how about this? You have a computer system, right?" And he goes, "Yeah. How about we split the profits?" So, it was $4 to rent, I think at the time, $3.99. You get 2, I get 2. And he's like, "Deal." So that way he didn't have to put $20 out of his pocket.
But I bet that you made that $20 back
Oh
in a
my
week.
God. You're not kidding. So a year later, I come back to collect. And since then, I've been on the Fox. I did a bunch of shows at the Phoenix. I promoted. I had flyers, and it came up to about $280 this guy owes me.
Nice.
And he just freaked out. He's like, I've never owed anyone $280 for a fucking video. He's screaming at the top of his lungs. I'm like, well, this is the contract.
Nice. You guys
But
had
he
a
made
contract and
he
everything?
made 280 without having to do
I know
anything.
he did. I reminded him of that
asshole.
He
too.
could have only spent $20, but
Yeah.
I know.
They
Now,
made-
now here's the funny thing.
great.
So he paid me the $280.
he did.
Yeah, and then I have it in my hand. I kid you not. I go, oh, so $20. So
Oh, man.
we became friends after that.
All right, we're gonna take a little break.
Absolutely.
Everyone's gonna get another beer or whatever they gotta do, and we'll be right back with Hops and Monsters, whatever. Yeah, that's stupid. All right.
All right.
Oh, shit, man. That's
Did you
fun.
guys say you drove down to the NAMM
yeah.
show together?
Yes, and I think it was 2011.
Yeah.
Lance and I drove down to Anaheim to go to the NAMM convention.
That was when you worked at
What's
Zone?
NAMM?
He picked me up in Roner Park where I live. It was after I worked at Zone, but I was still able to get a pass. And Lance rented a VW Beetle, which it was like bright blue.
Yeah.
That's so metal.
And then we went to Simi Valley that night. As you know, the 7-hour drive, Lance was telling me all these stories. I remember the one story you told me about Sam Kinison. That one kind of sticks out in my mind.
Oh yeah.
Just
Let's
about
hear it.
how you were hanging. I'd rather have Lance tell you. I just remember you were telling me that you hung out with Sam Kinison and all this, and we wound up staying at these old people's house. Who it was one of your friends. It was their parents that lived down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
they
then
were.
I had no idea who these people were, and then I'm like, "Hey, I'm staying on your couch today." And they were, it was really weird. It was kind of awkward.
and we
but
watched a cowboy movie or
yeah,
something.
Welcome to the life of a touring musician.
It was interesting, man. And then we went to NAMM, and
Do you remember what remember I brought out the portable DVD player, what we were watching on the way down?
no, what?
Death Wish 2.
What? We're watching Death
Charles
Wish
Bronson?
2?
Yeah, Charles
As we were
Bronson.
Classic
on
Bronson,
I-5.
I-5.
We're just on I-5.
Good Death Wish. One of the good ones.
And you were watching this while you were driving?
Absolutely.
I don't remember that.
I do. And I popped it up on the dash,
man.
right in the middle between us, and I'm just driving. It's I-5, man.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah, cruise control,
Cruise
right?
control.
Like, yeah, exactly.
There was no traffic.
Cruise control, my good
No,
man.
it was like the middle of the day going to LA, you know? Yeah. Fucking
Yeah.
good times.
And what does NAMM stand for?
National
Charlie was-
Association of Music Merchants.
Yeah, so we were a
double
music
M.
merchant.
Yes,
it.
it's not Vietnam.
I could have gone to that like 7 years in a row, and I never went.
Dude, I went
When I
5
worked at
years in a
Mason
row.
Boogie.
It was fucking amazing. Just hanging out with rock stars all night. But you get kind of burned out after like
I know.
2 or 3 days. You're just, man.
I was burned out
I'm
just
too old
thinking
for
about
that
it.
shit.
I'm like, nope, not going. I don't care.
It was a blast every time, man. I met Bill Murray one year. Just
Damn.
it was great, man.
Yeah, Iron Maiden. I met those guys.
Dude.
Just
Everybody.
random.
I remember Corey met Bootsy Collins. He was there.
Yeah. Scorpions. I
Uh,
walked around the corner and there's the whole band just coming at you.
Fuck yeah. And Dick Dale was there. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
One of my all-time inspirations,
Cool.
personally. You know. But yeah, fuck. Just everyone's there, man. It's an awesome place.
Fuck Dick Dale.
Oh, you're not down with the Tarantino?
I am
no.
not. No.
Not down with Dick Dale?
No, you want to hear why?
you don't like
that
Dick?
motherfucker?
Yes, very much so.
I do want to
Sounds
hear
like we
this
do,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
So Skitzo got slated to do the soundtrack for From Dusk Till Dawn Part 2.
no shit.
Yeah. And it was amazing. It was like it was a big thing that was going to make us big. You know, we were going to be on the soundtrack during the part where the guy is in Terminator 2. What's that liquid guy? He was in that.
Oh, the T-1000 guy?
Yeah.
Robert Patrick.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
His
So-
brother's in Filter, side note.
Oh, cool.
Richard Patrick.
So that guy is in in Dusk Till Dawn Part 2, and he comes out of the ground. And we were supposed to have that off of one of our albums. I think it was Psychobabble. I forgot. Maybe it was Confessions that it was going to happen. It was like without the vocals. We had it all planned out. And because Pulp Fiction had the Dick Dale thing, Surf Tone, the director at the very last moment talked to Dick Dale, and they kicked us out.
Man.
So now when you see that movie and you hear
That was a fail on his part.
Yeah, I was so pissed off.
Because I don't even remember that movie at all. So
well,
it would have been way better if you played
Yeah,
it.
I don't know if I ever saw part 2.
Yeah, me neither.
I have to go watch it now.
Yeah.
And then yell, "Fuck
what-
Dick Dale,"
right,
when the
exactly.
hands come
I don't know
out.
if I
Yeah,
want to watch it.
exactly.
So it wasn't Robert Rodriguez or Tarantino. They didn't have anything to do with the sequel.
I don't remember.
Probably not. They had moved on to different
I
things.
was so pissed off.
They cashed their paychecks though.
Yeah, fucking A.
Yeah. So anyway,
That
I'm
sucks,
glad you like Dick Dale. I just
well,
that
you
guy.
know,
Anymore.
Dick Dale's on notice.
fuck that tape. Well, just for me, it was like when I was a kid, my parents listened to a lot of oldies and shit like that. And when I heard, that was the fastest thing I ever heard.
Yeah, you're
Before
right.
I discovered
It was-
metal, and I was like, holy shit.
Really?
I
The
wanna
Pulp
play-
Fiction soundtrack?
No, it was. This was
earlier than
before
that.
I was
His
like
album.
7 or 8
Okay.
years old. Yeah, my parents, they listened to a lot of 50s and 60s.
And they
They're
had
in
a
a
bunch
band
of
where
Dick
they play
Dale
shit like
records.
that. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And I listened to a lot of oldies. I mean, that's all I heard growing up until my babysitter, when I was like 7 years old, showed me NWA and shit like that. And then I discovered Metallica shortly after.
Two Live Crew.
I had a True Live Crew cassette tape. Had to hide it under my parents' bed.
Right?
Under your parents'
That was
bed?
like
No,
X-rated
I
rap.
had to hide it from my
never look-
parents under my bed.
They always look
That
under
was
your
a-
bed.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
They never look under their own bed.
That would have been a better idea, actually. Fuck, why didn't I think about that?
God, that's
It
like
was
a
as
pro
nasty
tip.
as they wanted
Yeah.
me, man.
Of course it was.
I
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
hair
yeah.
bed. So simple.
I had to take. I remember I threw away the cover. I think because I only had the cassette tape itself
Oh, yeah.
because
Because the
there's all
cover,
kinds-
that was
there's
a
all kinds
fucking...
of butts on the
Yeah.
front.
Too many
Right?
luscious
that was a
booties.
controversial
Yeah,
cover.
you can't have that when you're like 9 years old.
Right.
Well, I remember buying that first Metallica album, was Kill 'Em All.
That's a
Yeah,
fucking
my
great
dad
one.
saw that and was
he
not
was like,
very
"What
happy
the
about me
hell?"
buying that. He's like,
No,
"Are you
yeah.
buying this?" And I was like, "Yes." I already have like all the other ones.
I'm just
and it's
missing this.
Yeah,
It's,
they're just metal. I mean,
I remember-
Yeah, it's hard to explain to your parents that.
I did
I'm
explain
okay.
to
I
him,
just
though.
like this music.
Yeah,
I was
don't
buying
read too much
Slayer
into it,
records
right?
like Hell Awaits and Haunting the Chapel back then, and my dad was a bit concerned when I was listening to that. And so I explained it, and it was like, hey, you read Stephen King novels. This is the same thing, just in audio form. He was like, oh,
Right.
okay then. All right.
Oh,
And there's- yeah,
kinda
that's
nice.
a good explanation.
He
actually.
never hassled me
That
about
makes
music
sense.
after that
I
when
would've
he
been
realized
like,
that I
"Fuck
wasn't
you, Mom
taking
and
it
Dad, get off
literally.
my back.
It's just fiction, just played with guitars.
Well,
not
there was a
written.
lot of kind of satanic
yeah, but they're
fear
Christians.
in the 80s,
Tom
right?
Morello's a
Yeah.
full-on
The Night-
Catholic.
I'm
the
a little
Night
young,
Stalker.
but
remember
sure.
him?
Well,
Ramirez?
I never met
Yeah.
him personally, but
They say that
Never met him
AC/DC inspired him, not
I've heard
Slayer.
of him.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Well, it was a
trip.
scary time so parents didn't know what was going on.
Well, there was all this hype in the media about satanic cults brainwashing your children at the time, and that was all. It was proven to be bullshit.
Well, yeah. I don't think that was really going on. I mean,
No,
maybe.
but the media
I mean,
was
maybe
having
did
us
it all
believe
stem
that it
from-
was.
Did it all stem from like Jim Jones, shit like that?
No, that was like 10 years earlier,
Oh, okay.
5.
5 years earlier.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it
that
was
happened
like
in 79, 78.
He was, but in '75 he was like up in Ukiah, right? Mm-hmm. Before
Yeah,
he
he was
moved
around here
down.
for a
I worked
south.
with a guy who actually was in Guyana, and after it happened, the guy had to take pictures.
Oh man,
Wow.
Yeah, because he was there after it all happened.
shit.
Yeah, there
He
was
was
members
telling
of the Manson family that lived in Sonoma County. There's a house in Guerneville that they used to. Some people who lived over there.
Oh, I know his son.
No shit.
Yeah,
That's great. Yeah.
I can't
I
tell you
remember.
who because you may know who he
I
is.
might.
Manson's
Yeah.
son? Well, see, you were around in the 70s. There was also like the Zodiac and stuff. I've been really into the Zodiac
Yeah.
stuff lately.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
lived in Santa Rosa,
My
right?
mom
Yeah.
was really freaked out at the time.
Killed somebody in Napa, right? Lake Berryessa,
Yeah.
just outside
Yeah,
Napa.
and
My-
Vallejo, and
He worked in the gas farms.
but
of
he
Vallejo,
lived in
I think.
Santa Rosa for a while, and then he's also the suspect Arthur Allen Lee.
Arthur Lee Allen.
Arthur Lee Allen, thank you, is also the main suspect in the Santa Rosa hitchhiker murders, which I brought up
Right.
a while ago,
Yep.
but which happened in the 70s.
See,
No shit.
the Helter Skelter, I was like 5, 4 when that book came out, and that was my first book I ever read, and my mom was totally okay with it. She also read all those detective magazines, and if you've ever read any of those old magazines, they were all like gore, like guts coming out and slit throats, and I used to just read these, like Jason with My Monster and comic magazines. That was like my internet.
Right. Did you? I was going to ask about like read Tales of the Crypt or any of the horror comics that were around.
No,
Was
that
that
was
happening
way
in your time?
No, that was in the 50s.
Okay, that's a little
But
early.
my comics, I guess, was more creepy and eerie.
What about the
Vampirella.
like Creep Show comics? I remember
Yeah, that was like eerie and creepy.
that was. Did that come out in the 80s?
Creep Show?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Creep-
Creep
I
Show
remember
came
the
out in
movie did.
82.
Before or maybe it was around. I don't know if the movie came out before the like graphic novel or whatever.
No, they're from the 50s.
Oh, okay. Because I.
Like the EC
Well, they're kind of
horror.
based
Yeah.
on that old.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
the old
50s,
style.
and
Oh,
that's
okay.
way older.
There's the
I-
one with like the guy with the cockroaches, and then the guy that gets buried up to his neck in the
Yeah,
sand.
that's
Right.
the movie.
But there was like a graphic novel I think about. I remember my mom.
There's even a
Got it
documentary
from the
now on that
library.
film
Yeah,
called
Stephen
Just
King
Desserts.
wrote that, didn't he?
Oh yeah,
No, yeah,
okay,
he's even
okay.
in it. He's in the meteorite one.
That's okay. That's the one. Yeah, my mom worked at the library, and I remember getting that when I was a
That
kid.
movie scared the hell out of me as a
Good one.
kid.
Yeah,
I
that's-
still have nightmares about it. That ape orangutan thing with the
crate.
claws and the box.
No
called The
movie with
Crate.
Liam
Yeah.
Neeson's
Oh,
gonna
yeah, the
scare you
scariest shit
nightmares.
ever.
And Lonesome Death of Geordie Verrill.
Yeah, who knew
was
it?
The,
Ted Danson.
Right.
But Father's Day, that one really
Oh,
fucked me
yeah.
up with the
Bedelia,
guy.
where's my cake?
I want my
shit,
cake,
yeah,
you
right.
bitch!
That's right.
Damn.
That shit was crazy. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Lots of
Young
fun.
Ed Harris in that one. Okay, so Barren Altar, guys.
Yo.
We've been talking horror
Absolutely.
and heavy metal. What
Yeah.
came first for you guys? What's the impetus?
Fuck, probably heavy metal.
Heavy
for me.
metal.
Yeah. I mean, when I was maybe in 3rd grade, 8 or 9 years old, I discovered Metallica, and that was it for me. I mean, Master of Puppets had come out probably about 2 or 3 years before I discovered it, and I got it on cassette tape, and
I still have that on vinyl, first
Yeah.
pressing.
but
never
it
selling it.
changed my life, man. I mean, that
Yeah. Actually,
then,
was
you know,
actually
I just-
listening to that one like a couple weeks ago. 'Cause,
It just-
yeah.
I progressed, over the years, just tried to find heavier and heavier shit. I saw Ace Ventura in '94, and Cannibal Corpse was in that one scene, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? I need to know. I need this in my life, And after I discovered Cannibal Corpse, it was Deicide, Obituary, Morbid Angel, Sepultura, all the Florida death metal. That was my shit.
Yeah.
And then I actually discovered Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Slayer
After the fact?
So I went from like
Kinda
the
came around
most
to it.
extreme, and then I kind of went backwards as far as brutality. which is-
And underground, because it was really hard to find that shit back then.
That was my first real metal show was Incantation and Morbid Angel in San Francisco
Where?
in '98 at the Maritime Hall.
Oh, yeah.
And then later that year, I actually saw Death with Sadis on the last tour they were ever on. And
At the Omni?
no, that was actually the Maritime as well, but downstairs they had that smaller venue.
Oh, that's right.
There was maybe like 150, 200 people at the most. It was just crazy. I'm so thankful that I was able to see Death, and
yeah, because he died like a
he died
year.
probably 2 or 3 years later.
Okay.
I think 2001 he died.
Yeah.
But I saw them in '98 on the last tour they ever did for their last album, Sound of Perseverance tour, I think it was.
Yeah, I didn't even hear about them until after that.
What was your first show, Ryan?
First show, well, my first show was Weird Al Yankovic.
Awesome.
Wow.
Center. And
Holy
it was
cow.
awesome. That dude,
Can't get more
that
metal
dude
than
was
that.
a consummate professional.
Which tour was that? 'Cause I saw
Living
him there
Legend.
when he did the Jurassic Park.
Yes,
parody.
that was the
Was
one.
that the Petaluma
I was at
Fairgrounds?
that show.
No, it was
Okay.
at Luther Burbank.
Luther Burbank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. I
it
remember when
was.
that happened.
It was fantastic. I don't really remember what my first proper metal show was.
Did he play the mean accordion that night?
Oh yeah.
He always plays a mean
Yeah.
accordion.
Wow.
He had the fat suit.
Yeah,
He did,
when
Oh
He
yeah, he
was
did a lot of
everything.
costume changes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
He was.
I've
he
never
was
seen
awesome.
him.
Oh,
I've never seen him.
I still recommend going to go see him. 'Cause
Absolutely.
he's
Oh, yeah.
great.
He's an icon.
He's fun.
Yeah, but after that shows, it was all just like local Sonoma County bands.
Yeah, I mean, I saw before I saw Morbid Angel and all those bands. I saw Skitzo in '95, '96, probably.
Wow.
I went to a lot of punk shows. I remember I saw that there was Allegiance to None, Mickey and the Big Mouths,
Oh, it's great.
the Wobblies, shit, like all these. I tried when I was about 15 or so. I would try to take the bus into Santa Rosa because I grew up in Guerneville. Going to Santa Rosa was like going to the big city, and it was like going to all these like underground punk shows at shitty coffee houses. That was really cool to see that, and I really appreciated the energy. But the music still wasn't like, what I already heard death metal and stuff like that before, so it just wasn't like cutting it for me.
The technicality wasn't there.
The musicality, the technicality, the heaviness,
The tone.
It was cool. I mean, I went mainly just for the live show experience.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Just to feel that energy,
How old were you when you picked up your first guitar and said, "I want to be a guitar"?
Man, when I was about 13, I started playing guitar, but I had played piano for 10 years before that.
Oh, that's where you got the shred from.
I started taking piano lessons when I was 3 years old.
Damn.
And I
Did you know that? I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Well,
that.
Full surprises here.
my parents, me and my sister, we both took piano lessons when I was a kid, and it was just something that I did, and I didn't really think about it too much. My parents were both in a band; they played 50s and 60s rock and roll, like I talked about earlier.
What's the name of their group?
It was called the Passions.
Locally?
Yeah, they played a lot of gigs. They only played like cover songs though.
Okay.
They didn't have any originals or anything like that. Both my parents, my dad was the drummer, my mom sang. My aunt was the keyboardist. It was like
What?
It was like
Family
almost
affair.
like it was like the fucking Partridge Family.
Nice.
And like
cool.
I actually played keyboards one time at my school assembly when I was 10 years old. And God, that was the most embarrassing moment of my life.
Is that your first live
My
performance?
first
Yeah.
live performance, yeah, was with my parents' band when I was 10 years old in 1990. It was like a school assembly at Guerneville School. And, oh, God, just thinking
funny.
it. Just,
That's cool.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I don't know what the fuck. But,
No, man.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's
you know,
fucking
it-
awesome.
it's-
We've
yeah,
got to
check it
hear
out. That's
everybody's
great. That's a
first
great
performance story.
Yeah,
Mine
man,
was identical to him. Mine was piano when I was
Nice.
10
Yeah.
at an assembly, and I did like the boogie woogie something. It's just a one hand thing or two,
Hell yeah, man.
and it was 2 minutes, and that was it.
Do you still play piano every now and then? Or?
Yeah, but not trained, or I didn't get any lessons like you. But
Yeah, I mean, after 10 years of lessons, I only really remember one song, and it's like a Mozart minuet.
oh yeah, just a Mozart. Jeez,
No, but I mean, like that's all I take from fucking
Shit.
10 years of lessons. That's all I really remember, and like because I played the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And I had to go to like recitals, and I had to go up in front of like a couple hundred people and just biff. When I was like 7 or 8 years old, my first performance actually, not in a band, was by myself on the fucking stage at the JC at the big auditorium there. When I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and I just,
damn.
that was just crippling pressure. I mean, you have
Wow.
to get up there and perform. All these piano teachers are showing off their students and whatever. They had like the little Chinese chick that just ripped it up,
Oh yeah.
Dude, just
Yeah, you're like,
shredding
I gotta
it, and
follow
I was like,
that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to go up there, and I was all just playing and just messing up and starting over. But maybe that's why when I picked up guitar, I kind of gave up on it after a while because I was like, I had a Fender Strat, like a Squier. I had a Crate 30-watt amp. It sounded like 2 scoops of ass. And like, I wanted something that, I wanted to emulate these fucking metal bands that I kept hearing, and it just wasn't cutting it. So I kind of gave up on guitar.
Well, didn't you get a distortion pedal?
I actually had a DOD death metal pedal to go with my crate.
And it still sounded like a
That's how
scuba
we all
bass?
started.
It sounded even worse, man. Yeah, I had single coil fucking pickups on my
I think
Fender
it's like
Squire.
the magic like make sound good.
Yes, I was like, well, this is gonna cure my problem.
oughta do
I
it.
got the amp, I got the guitar.
Keeps turning it up.
Yeah, it's not working. It sounded like 3 scoops of acid.
Oh, man.
It was just, dude. So that's why I kind of gave up in high school. I kind of gave up on guitar. Only when I was about 20 or 21, I started thinking about playing guitar seriously again, and I haven't looked back since, man. I just
Good.
shredding ever since then.
Awesome.
Nice.
We're better off for it.
Absolutely.
Yep. So Ryan, what was your first live experience?
School band, elementary school, percussion, and there was only one drum set for the school band, and every boy wanted to be a drummer. So there was every song you would rotate and you would switch out and you get to play the kit, and then everyone else had to play on a practice pad. So my first performance was playing a practice pad at Sequoia Elementary.
Oh man,
And then eventually moving over to the snare, that was big time for one song, and then going back to the practice pad so that the other dude could get his shot.
Well, mine was at the age of 16, the Phoenix Theater main stage, with a band the guitar player for Butter Me Down had formed called Barking Spider,
what? That's fucking awesome.
and he played guitar. And he switched over to bass and played for many, many years in a band called Dr. Obvious with the drummer
I
Jeff.
remember Dr. Obvious.
And then when Butter Me Down formed, he went back to guitar finally. And they asked me to play bass for whatever reason. But anyway, so 1986, we're on stage at the Phoenix. And there was like 100 people there. I have no fucking idea why. We start our first song, and he had borrowed his friend's Marshall stack. But they couldn't get it working. So me and the drummer just started playing the song, went all the way through the song with just bass and drums. And our singer, who was he was my best friend at the time. His name was Scott. He's passed away. He was in a band with Tim Soya called Wingnut in the 90s,
remember
around the
that.
same time as Butter Me Down. In fact, we even have a song on the album called Wingnut, which is about not that band, but about him.
Wow. How'd he pass?
He hung himself.
Okay. I
This
remember
was
something
in
like
2006.
that. Okay. Wow.
So anyway, to digress,
R.I.P. Wingnut.
we played a whole song as Barking Spider with no guitar. And I think we only played 1 or 2 songs after that. I don't remember how it went, because it was only the first song was videotaped and there was no guitar in it. Just bass and drums and vocals.
Was your adrenaline just going
Yeah,
crazy?
Yeah, because I was so super nervous because it was my first show ever, and I hadn't played bass in front of anybody at that point. I'd only been playing for a couple years, and they kept asking me to join the band, and I kept on turning them down, going, "No, dude, you guys are out of my league. You're better than me." And they're like, "Come on, Ben, we need someone to fucking play bass." I caved into the pressure and went in there and did that. And little did I know that, like 15 years later, we would be in a band again called Butter Me Down. And
Wow.
doing that.
Well, you're a great bass player, though. You are.
Here, here.
Fucking A.
I kind of like what I'm doing now. I'm playing the 12-string bass in Barren Altar. It's kind of crazy.
12 string.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
what?
like it's not like
Is that a thing?
Kurt's 9-string bass.
Okay.
It's like a 12-string guitar with bass strings added onto it. So it has this really loud, resonating harpsichord kind of sound. And I play it with 2 different fuzz pedals that I blend together while we're playing the whole time.
Sounds huge.
Yeah,
And
sounds pretty
it
good.
sounds like a fucking freight train. I mean, it's
Wow.
like we're trying to do everything to be as sonically massive as possible in this band, I guess.
How many pieces is it? 4?
We
5,
have another
5.
guitarist.
5. Okay.
So, and if you guys would both play 12-string guitars, we could make it even heavier. What do you think?
I don't with all
Go.
that distortion, that wouldn't really.
Right.
Let's go with
The most gimmicky
Go
band of
Baker's
all
dozen.
time.
Get a 13 string on there.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why we're
Why don't you
limiting
guys just
ourselves to
play
12.
more guitars?
Yeah, why don't we just get a fucking like an orchestra, like string section?
Yeah, full harp, full.
Go all the way, man.
18 string
You will not be
guitars,
paid.
man.
Dude, yeah.
Drone.
I don't even know if it's
Get
necessary.
an oboe in
but,
there. That's some.
I mean, like I tried to stop playing it at practice a few weeks ago, and Ed's like, "I'm just used to that. So can you pick that thing up again?"
Yeah, it was weird. It going back to a 5-string sounded strange. I don't know if it's the the effects that you play through, but it sounded like it just doesn't sound as
It didn't
full
cut.
as it is
Yeah,
now.
now it sounds full as fuck.
Yeah,
But I'm a little bit. We're recording an album in a month, and I'm kind of worried the engineer's going to give me a lot of grief because he's not going to be able to blend it very well. Because it takes a lot of sonic space.
Right.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
He's going to say, your bass is totally stomping all over the guitars, dude. Do you have like a normal 4-string you can play? I'm expecting that to happen.
Yeah, we'll talk about it before the fact. You know.
Well, compress
what's
the hell out of
Well,
it,
tell him
maybe.
to go fuck himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing over
Listen,
here.
I'm paying you, asshole.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, Charlie, what was your first live experience? I know we've had a couple together.
Well, yeah, I played a handful
Toad
of
in the hole?
shows just on an acoustic guitar. I think my first, I was thinking about it. I think it was at Jasper O'Farrell's. I opened for a couple of friends. Ash had a band maybe that she was playing in.
Right, I
Darwin
remember
was
that.
playing in a band, so they had me just play a couple songs, and I got heckled. I got straight heckled by a drunk at the bar, and
It was drunk.
it was fine. I didn't care, and no, it was fine. I'm music for me was just kind of like I just picked it up to have something to do, and I know a couple chords. I don't really do anything with it. You guys are the ones who are like taking it to this next level, and
No, man, we're just doing what we do.
so I'm a better observer and chronicler of. I'm better at writing about it than doing it. So I do that.
Okay, well, fuck you
Yeah.
then. And
Yeah.
what was your first live experience?
My first live experience was a talent show in junior high with a band that I was in, and we did one Green Day cover from their first album and a Foo Fighters cover from
Were you
their
playing
first
guitar or
album.
drums?
Guitar. So we had like, I don't know, we went way too over the top for it because we prepped the shit out of it for a 2-song little performance thing. We tried to get all dressed up, and we stressed way too much more than we had to. And then we played to parents, in the auditorium, the gym auditorium at Twin Hills in Sebastopol, and that was it. That was my claim to fame. So we played.
Did you
Paper
feel like it went
Lanterns
pretty
and
well,
Old
or
George?
were you happy with the performance?
Well, we played 3 shows. It was a whole weekend thing. So
You
it was a
played 3
Friday-
shows,
Yeah.
damn.
In a row?
Yeah.
Only
Back to
Green
back
Day
to
songs,
back.
though?
37
It was oh my
in a
God.
row?
Yeah, it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday deal. So we'd set up the first night. It was the same lineup of people of doing whatever. So there was like a stand-up comedian person. There was someone doing like dance and
God, it sounds like Woodstock. Did you
Yeah.
guys get fucked up and crazy after?
Did you
or
hang
what?
out with Hendrix?
No,
Did you have
I can't say
breakfast?
that. Someone smoked pot.
Did
and
you take the
everyone
brown
got in
acid?
trouble
Got
after that.
breakfast.
That's right.
We were all in junior high at the time, so we couldn't partake. But there was like a whole pot scandal that went on during
A scandal.
one of those nights.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, when
the
there's
great
musicians in the
Sebastopol
room, that shit's gonna
scandal
happen, right?
Of 1996.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah.
Well, that's around the age, and some people find the allure.
Yeah, these weekend things were just the excuse for the parents to get together and hand it over. Yeah.
But that
I
was
get
my
that.
whole thing, man.
Have
We
the kids
rocked the
play a
shit
couple
out of
hours.
it.
Wait, I want to know what Green Day song did you play?
We played Paper Lanterns, which was off of the culmination of demos from their what is it, 10.
I guess
Was this
when-
before they blew up?
You went deep
Smooth
cut.
Out
You
Slappy
went deep
Hours.
cut, huh?
Deep
And
cuts.
then we played Oh George from the Foo Fighters' first album. And that was my claim to fame. That was like my input.
Nice.
The other guy was a Green Day guy. I was a Foo Fighters guy. So,
Nice.
and yeah, it was smooth. It was cool.
I could never get into the
We
Foo
had lights.
Fighters.
Nope.
Just because
Nope.
I had listened to Nirvana for so many years before that, and I was like, it's okay, Dave Grohl. I know
Yeah,
you're
but you
sad.
gotta admit,
trying.
he's fucking amazing at everything he does.
No, I fucking love Dave Grohl. Amazing musician.
One of the best drummers I've ever seen
No, of
live.
course, but
Ever.
I mean, I just compared to Nirvana, Well, that's all I could do is just compare them to Nirvana.
But they're not. It's,
No,
you
I
guys
know,
just
I know,
ignore Nirvana.
Who do you
I-
think?
I- how can I
listen to
admit
Foo
that?
Fighters?
I find that hard
Well,
to do.
Two, you have to separate it between the first album, which is a collection of demos, versus like the everything after that, which was more like label released, like they had more production behind it. I'm all a fan of the grunge demos that they got into.
Did you like their? Did you ever watch their series? They did the HBO series.
Sonic Highway?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
man, that is fucking.
It's
cool.
awesome.
You know
That's
what?
legit.
That was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I watched most of that.
There's
and,
so much music history.
They go city
I mean,
to city CD
You could-
and record a track.
He
and
could be a
and
professor.
they're not very good. The songs
oh yeah,
aren't very
we
good.
got to talk about this.
We're gonna talk about this.
Oh,
we got to talk about this.
Well, make sure we get some
I found this.
a holy
okay.
Photo
artifact has
evidence.
just been
Holy
dropped on the
artifact.
All right,
table.
so
Holy artifact.
Ed the Shred.
There's a story. Since we're traveling down the grunge
Might
road
as
here,
well, right?
my friend in 1994 saw Nirvana. In the previous year, in 1993, he drove to Phoenix to see them. He was only 13. I don't know how the fuck he did that. But anyway, he
Probably
went to
not
that
legally.
It
show.
was a simpler time.
Kurt Cobain smashed his guitar all over the stage at the end of the set, like he always did. And he reached out, and he was only able to grab this one high E string. And I have it. He gave it to me when I was 14 because we were like best friends. He was like, "Hey, I want you to have this." And I didn't believe him. I was like, "No fucking way. That's Kurt Cobain's guitar string, dude." And he said, "Yes, I was there, man. I want you to have this." So I've had this ever since, man. I just found it earlier tonight, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
His DNA is probably on
Yeah,
this
no,
string.
Yeah, it is.
We can clone Kurt Cobain from this.
That's a possibility. I mean, I've seen Jurassic Park. I
Yeah.
know what's up.
Yeah, we could do that.
But we're so preoccupied
Let's
with
dip
whether
it
we
in amber.
can.
Army of Kurt Cobain.
I don't think about whether we should.
Unfortunately, I think it also has Courtney Lovehole's DNA.
I am throwing this in the
Now it's a
fucking trash.
Cronenberg movie.
This is garbage
Naked
to me.
lunch.
I'm gonna throw this right out the window.
Well, you probably played with Nirvana once or twice, right, Lance? No.
No, but I was unlucky enough to meet what's her name?
Courtney Hole.
Yeah,
His daughter. No.
sure.
No, she has a restraining order against her mother. Do you know
Yeah.
that?
That's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. Good for her.
For yeah, really.
As it
She used to
should
sing
be.
for Faith No More.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah. Before they got signed, she was the vocalist. And
No,
before that, she
Wait.
worked as a
Who are we
stripper.
talking about?
Courtney Love.
I bet she was worse
With
than
Faith
Chuck
No More?
Mosley.
Yeah.
dude.
I thought it was the black guy.
No, Chuck Mosley. That guy.
He's amazing.
He
Yeah.
sounded retarded though on that first album.
I loved it.
Sorry, man.
But that was the time.
No, dude. I
was.
bet
Sound like a
Courtney Love
retard.
sounded even worse.
Are you
though.
talking about We Care a Lot?
That was big.
Yeah.
that was big.
So-
care a lot. I love these.
No, dude. I
Recorded right here in
He just
Kentucky,
sounds like
I-
Phil
by the way.
Anselmo
I know,
to me.
but no, dude. I couldn't ever do. I found the real thing when I was 9 years old. When it
Well,
came
that's
out.
a legit album, all
And that-
right?
That's another, going back.
I
to,
saw Mike Patton and Mr. Bungle before he joined them. He was
fucking-
amazing then.
Dude,
hate you, Ben.
the real thing
At the
though,
River
that's-
Theater in Guerneville.
I used
Opening
to.
for Privates.
the
We used to.
River-
We used to.
Hey,
We used to drive up to the Bungle House in the '80s and hang out.
Right,
Damn it,
Eureka?
man.
Yeah, and God, we were up there with their drummer Hans, and we stayed at the house, right? And I didn't see Mike Patton or anybody else, but there was a little opening like this. Did any of you guys see a horror movie called People Under the Stairs?
Yes.
People under the stairs.
sounds like a yes.
Yes. So that's what it was like. You crawl in between the house of this. It was a huge Victorian, and you get to like walk through the halls
Oh, man.
on the outer part of each room. So there was maybe 3 feet between each room, and there was lights in there. There was people smoking, and it was like a whole new room within a room. It was crazy, and that's the Bungle House.
Nice.
Okay. I used to live in a place where the washer dryer was in the crawl space. Like you would basically have to do
You had to
that.
crawl in there to do your laundry.
And then there would be a little opening where the hookup was.
That's creepy.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, not good. Not ideal. All right, well, this has been good. I think we're doing we're about an hour now. So what else? What else is going on? We got a show on March 3rd.
Yeah.
Your curses?
Oh,
You
yeah,
want to
let's-
do your movie curses?
Let's-
Well, we really didn't get to the horror movie.
yeah, we got to talk about
Too much
5
music.
minutes of
So-
movies
so
because we
good.
did too much music. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the 5 top cursed movies ever,
All right. Well,
according to whatever list you
according
pull up.
to the New York Post, they're a trustworthy
That's what I heard.
source of news. Poltergeist.
Okay.
You guys know about Poltergeist.
Yeah.
A lot of people died. They used actual remains on set when they had that scene
Respect.
where she is in the pool,
Really?
and all the corpses come out.
Those are real bodies?
Those were real bodies, like shipped in from India. It was cheaper to get real corpses.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
No wonder- that freaked me out. when
Dude,
I
do
saw
you
That's-
think
that.
we can get like
Yeah.
bodies
Yeah,
shipped
can
in
we-
from
well,
India?
Probably from China.
Yeah,
at
you
least.
still can. That's still the cheapest
Can we
way.
carry one into
apparently.
that in the altar case?
To get- Well,
if
carry
we
like
can
a full
get it in
Indian
here.
skeleton?
So,
That'd be
yeah.
awesome,
I don't
dude.
want some fucking curse though, man. I don't.
Yeah, you don't want the curse. It's bad.
I don't want the curse.
But yeah, basically, it's cheaper to get actual remains than to get like prosthetic fake.
And they have
remains.
perfect teeth, apparently.
Yeah, that's I don't want to know why. I don't want to know why, but so a lot of people died from the Poltergeist movies. The young girl died while they were
teenage
making
daughter,
the third
she
one.
was- she was killed
The teenage
by
daughter was
her
killed right after the first
boyfriend.
one was made. Yeah, her boyfriend killed her. Very bad news. The Crow, obviously cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only
yeah.
one person died, I think.
Yeah, but it was fucking Brandon Lee. It was like
Exactly.
Bruce
They all
Lee's
died.
kid, and Bruce Lee was obviously cursed for some reason or another. So the whole family's cursed. That's the problem with the Lee family. But yeah, it was the gun went off. They say Superman here,
Well, Christopher
but that's
Reeve,
yeah, Christopher Reeve got paralyzed like 30 years. I'd say Superman 4 is probably cursed.
Yeah,
if
because
you're going by
it's
that
such a shitty
logic.
movie, he cursed himself with that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, he should have
wait,
walked away from that.
Richard Pryor was in Superman 4, right?
No,
Three.
three.
He was in 3. Okay.
Yeah, Pryor
Did
was in
he
3.
did he light himself on fire before or
Before.
after?
It was before.
It was
okay.
before, I think. Yeah, this is
I
post fire.
I mean, that could have been a curse, smoking.
I think
Smoking
number
crack.
3 is a curse
You know
on
what he
its own.
said about that?
Yeah.
When you light yourself on fire, people tend to move out of your way.
Right. Sure, he wasn't smoking kryptonite.
Oh, hey, I've smoked some kryptonite in my day. Fucking heck.
Okay, so this one I think is actually cursed. So this is the one I'm going to tell you.
Animal House?
No. It's an unmade. It's never been made, but
okay.
they've been trying to make it since the 80s.
Damn.
It's called Atuk or the Incomparable Atuk. Basically, it's a movie about like a Eskimo or something.
Everyone that
and
signed on to the role
everyone
died.
who goes to play the role dies. So John Belushi was going to play the role, and then he died. And then it was John Candy, and he died. And then it was Chris Farley,
Wow.
and he
I
died.
had no idea. That's crazy.
And
Just big fat white guy, party animal guys.
yeah.
yeah. I mean,
maybe they should have.
Who would have
been a
known?
little bit more
Yeah.
diverse in their
Maybe, yeah,
casting.
how about
I'm
some-
surprised they didn't ask me to fill in.
Get like a Daniel Day-Lewis.
You know, if only they would ask that dude who plays Medea to do it, so we get rid of him.
Oh shit.
Also, apparently, Phil Hartman was supposed to play a role in the movie,
shit.
and then he
Wow.
got killed. And yeah, it's just one of those. So it's
that's
never,
fucking crazy.
and it's one of those where it's like I think now the script is just in a vault somewhere, like in the
Well,
like
wait.
at the
Seth
end of Indiana
Rogen.
Jones.
Seth Rogen. Hello.
Yeah, he's perfect.
Well,
for
he
it.
doesn't.
He knows better.
Yeah,
He's
he
not
doesn't wanna
touching
go-
that fucking thing.
Did you see how much weight he lost? Like a
yeah.
couple years
He
ago.
doesn't
He's
fit
not
the role
schlubby
anymore.
enough anymore.
Him and who's the other guy
Jonah?
from Jonah from Superbad, right?
What about like a Horatio Sands or something?
That'd be perfect.
He would actually be very good for
But
that.
you know,
yeah.
I don't want him to die.
No one wants anyone. I don't
How
want.
about
anyone.
Carlos Mencia?
Or Artie Lang. I
be
mean, I
perfect.
can't believe he's
Lang.
not
Oh, yeah. I like
Yeah,
that.
he's hanging on, man.
dead. Artie Lang.
Artie
is
Lang,
like-
yeah. That dude tried
He
to
tried
kill
to
himself
didn't he
and
stab
couldn't do
himself or something.
it. Yeah, he tried to stab himself in the heart.
He was too fat though.
Yeah.
He couldn't get through it.
He was,
You're not
Wow.
Elliot Smith, dude.
Foiled by his own weight.
So being fat as fuck saved his life.
All right, so that's the curse movies, Ben.
There's more, though. What about the
Well,
Omen?
there was 10 in the other one.
The
And
Omen's
I've never
cursed?
heard of the Conqueror, so I'm not going to do that.
I haven't
Well,
heard
let's
of
talk
that.
about the ones we know, like Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's
Okay.
Baby's
All right, talk
cursed.
about
All right. Roman Polanski's wife murdered a year later after the film came out by Charles Manson's family.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up
And
with
then
that?
Trent Reznor recorded Downward Spiral in the same house.
Wow.
Wait, Roman Polanski had to move to Europe because he got accused of like child molestation.
Not accused.
He definitely did.
Actually did it.
Definitely did. And it
Full
was
on did it.
more than molestation. Yes. The Omen is also apparently cursed.
How so?
Well,
Yeah, no, more people died on the set of The Omen than anything, I believe.
Okay, so Richard Donner did this one as well, like
Oh.
Superman. So he sounds like a cursed filmmaker.
Maybe
then.
he's just
I mean,
murdering
Was
people.
his family the Donner Party?
You know what? God damn it!
It could be.
That's a good one.
I mean, they were fucking
I think
cursed.
They were
that
cursed.
sounds like pretty cursed. Yeah. So Donner's hotel was bombed.
What?
Yeah, bombed by the IRA.
What?
Apparently.
Wow.
And that like a coincidence or
Gregory Peck
because
was
they're
in the
doing-
movie. His son committed suicide several months before the filming began, so I don't know if that's
That-
on the
that's-
movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's
that's
reaching
come
a
on,
little
come on,
bit. But
guys.
there were deaths on the actual set, I believe.
I think maybe that was The Exorcist. There was not on set.
Well, the director who died in The Exorcist being thrown out the window and down the stairs, he died a few days later in real
William
life.
Friedkin or something?
No, he was a director, but the director who was in the film.
Oh, that director.
Yeah, he died on
Who
the set.
portrayed the director. in
Right.
the
Okay,
film.
so in that movie, there's a decapitation in The Omen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the glass that
Yeah.
comes off the truck and
Okay,
decapitates the
so
dude.
what this website is saying is that apparently that literally happened to someone
And
like
they
a
put
month
it
later.
in. Oh,
I don't know, man.
Special effects director
Reaching.
John Richardson and his assistant Liz Moore were involved in a serious car accident which decapitated Moore. Just like the movie. That's pretty messed up.
Oh, that's cool.
That's kind of creepy. I always liked The Omen. That was one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Even part 2, Damien Omen part 2.
yeah, Rosemary's. What happened here?
Rosemary.
I just really hope that if they ever try to remake some of these movies, that they all die.
They remade The Omen.
Well, they should all. I hope they all die.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do we think about all these remakes with these
I
guys?
think, yeah,
Why?
fuck that shit.
Why is-
Why?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
There's one that I kind of liked, and
Like-
I went in. I thought I was going to hate it. I got a pocket full of change. If I didn't like it, I was going to go out and play video games in the lobby. But Dawn of the Dead.
Dude, the remake, that movie's
I
awesome.
did. I liked
I know,
it.
right?
Surprised the shit out
I
of
like
me.
the ending of that.
I like
how
them
they
all.
try to go to an island to get away from everybody, but still it's populated by zombies.
Right.
And they have that Haitian zombie voodoo music. At
Are
the
we
end.
talking Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's actually really good.
I think that's kind of the first one that
Yeah.
had the fast zombie, right?
It
Wasn't that
was.
kind of
It
the
was.
birth of
Well,
the...
you know
that
me,
was after like
I have a
20
Return of
Days
the
later.
Living
28 days
Dead.
later.
Return
Yeah.
of the Living Dead had fast zombies in the 80s.
And they also,
Yes,
that was the only.
yeah.
That was the first time they actually went after brains.
Those ones
as well.
messed me up because it's like you could cut the arm off and the arm would keep coming for you.
Or you can kill them in the brain. You shoot them in the head and they still come after you.
Yeah.
It worked in the
You couldn't
movies.
kill him. Oh, I was like, "There's no solution
I
here."
hit the fucking
That always
brain.
messed me up. That always, so we were talking about Japanese horror movies last week, and the conversation was just like how kind of off the wall they are, and
It's
to
crazier
me, it's like
than their anime.
there's no way to stop them. So then I just kind of shut down.
Wow.
Like I get
Yeah.
so scared that I'm just like I'm not dealing with this.
Dude, the
This
worst is the remakes of Japanese horror movies like The Ring. The original
yeah.
is so much fucking scarier. That
Yeah.
scared the shit out of me, man.
I kind
It was.
of wait. Are you talking
Sorry.
about the remake with Naomi Watts? Because I like the atmosphere in that film.
Yeah, I mean, it just
But it was
compared
just
to
like
Ringu.
I think when it's like when they're just unstoppable and you think you got them, but they're like, no, we're just coming anyways.
I have
It's almost
nightmares like that where I'm trying to
I can't
fend
deal with
off
that.
people who are attacking me, and
I
everything
like
I
the
do
rules
doesn't
of
hurt them.
I like the rules
Hate
of
that.
Romero where you shoot him in the head and like I need
Yeah,
that. I need that
Romero
rule.
You need that
zombies,
completion.
I
for
need
sure.
that like at least I can
Oh,
do
shit.
this.
Are we
Yeah.
getting
I mean,
into the
Romero's
fast
rules.
versus slow zombie debate?
Yes,
again?
yes. We talked
Well,
about
just
this on
in
the very
general, yeah.
first episode, actually.
Well, I guess it goes.
It's a continuing.
A friend of mine
it's an
suggested,
ongoing-
he said, okay, it's like the fast zombies are kind of like the sensation of a lion chasing.
Yeah, they're
after
more
you.
like rabid
Yeah.
animals.
But then
than
the
actually
slow
dead.
zombies are creepy and eerie and ugh. You know?
Well, the slow zombies are great because there's so many of them. It's like the wave,
Right.
or it's like
The horde of.
I always like the volcano movies because the lava's coming at you slow.
The
I
blob.
like that. I like
Yeah.
a quicksand thing. I like the tension of something slowly coming at you. Yeah, the fast zombies are. I mean, yeah, that Dawn of the Dead remake is actually really great.
It's
but,
legit.
Yeah, the fast zombies is
Now,
too-
the remakes of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, God.
Yeah.
You didn't like those?
They didn't even need to remake that.
Well, they don't need
no.
to
You
remake
can't-
any of
Scary.
them.
You can't
movie
redo perfection.
I
Yeah,
just
that
would
was-
like to announce right here, I'm remaking Holy Moly.
Oh, I love
casting
it.
begins
What
this
did I
weekend.
say?
go.
You can't remake perfection.
No, well,
March
it's-
3rd, show up to the vet center.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
we're
vet
gonna be-
center.
yeah,
We'll
We're
start
going to be
with
writing
casting
it then.
call,
Yeah, and then we'll
Can I
shoot
put
it the
some,
next
can I
weekend.
put some
Live
Dick
on
Dale
stage.
music
Yeah,
in
we
it?
did.
Yeah.
Dick
All
Dale's going to do the
guitar.
soundtrack.
God. All right, we're going out on that. This is Hops and Monsters. Find us on Facebook. Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Later.